Portland City Council candidate Renee Gonzalez picked up two notable endorsements this week, the union representing Portland firefighters and the Portland Police Association. It's significant because he's running against incumbent City Commissioner Joanne Hardesty, who oversees the Fire Bureau. Gonzalez, a tech company owner and business strategist, returns to Eye on Northwest politics as we talk about his campaign to win Portland City Council position number 3. Renee Gonzalez, welcome back to Eye on Northwest politics.
Thanks so much for having me, Ken.
Well, what do the firefighter and police union endorsements say to you about the status of this race?
Well, first of all, we're honored and humbled by the support from the men and women that protect our city. But I think it's a real call for change. The city needs to be stabilized after a really difficult number of years here. And for both those sets of organizations to step out and support a challenger really speaks to how difficult a couple of years it's been for those on the front lines. So again, honored and humbled, but this is a call for help and a call for change in the city of Portland.
Commissioner Hardesty released a statement after the firefighter endorsement saying, "I respect the decision of the union's 14-member executive board, and I still have the back of over 750 firefighters in Portland." Any response to that statement?
We've had extensive discussions with rank and file firefighters over the entire campaign cycle. And if anything, we feel there's stronger support in the base of the firefighters union. It was difficult for the union to step out and support someone other than the sitting commissioner. So if anything, we think the inverse is true. We think there's substantial support in the rank and file. Again, they're overwhelmed by the challenges of our unsanctioned camps and continuously confronting the addiction crisis on our streets. They want to get home to their families and not deal with compelled overtime. And they frankly don't feel safe in the city, particularly with the environment created for some of our police that has a direct impact on their safety and doing their jobs. So we frankly think the inverse is true.
Crime and vandalism are major concerns for Portlanders right now. What are your thoughts on solutions?
Well, a couple dimensions. First and foremost, we have to have a functioning criminal justice system that starts with an adequately supported and funded police department that's just a certain amount of police officers on the streets of Portland. You start there. More broadly, we do have to commit to protecting victims and providing justice in the city of Portland. At times, it feels like we have taken away the focus on victims and the focus on justice, sometimes pursuing other laudable goals, but we need to recenter victims in our criminal justice system. And so we're looking at possibly reinstituting municipal court in the city of Portland as a way to streamline some of the prosecution of certain types of crimes, including vandalism, some of the low-level property thefts, the catalytic converters. That's in part to disrupt the cycle of some of this criminality, as well as to give Portlanders some justice on these issues. So it's a crisis on our streets there, and it's going to be a multifactorial solution there. Part of it's with police, part of it's with a more focused criminal justice system. But last but not least, we need to keep our economic engines running. We need to keep our schools open and access to sports and the arts and all these beautiful parts of the city of Portland that give people a positive path. And all of those things have been challenged in recent years. And to get our way out of this crime challenge, all of those are going to be part of the solution.
Do you support alternatives to traditional policing, like the Portland Street Response Team, for example?
I think anytime we can facilitate non-police intervention in non-violent scenarios, I think it's a positive. So Portland Street Response, as well as there's a comparable county program, are all parts of the equation. Having said that, there's always going to be a certain percentage of those interactions that may not appear to be violent up front, but may turn that way. And we're going to be relying on police to some degree forever to deal with some of those situations. So I'm a big fan of combining them both. They both serve a purpose here, but I don't think it's an either or. It just can't be. Last but not least, we just have too much unsanctioned camping on the streets of Portland, and police and our social workers are left to, and fire, as well as all of our first responders, are left to intervene too many times in these difficult situations on our streets. So we do need to look under the hood more structurally at what we can be doing to really prevent and redirect unsanctioned camping, to prevent the number of interactions across our social service net.
Along those lines, since the last time you were on this program, Safe Rest Village sites have started opening up, but the homeless problems on the streets persist, as you pointed out. Is the city doing enough to solve the problem, and is it going fast enough?
Not for citizens. I mean, it's been painfully slow. And when we're talking about homeless, it's never just the city. That's the reality. When we're talking city, county, and state, all have roles in this challenge. But no, I'd say for citizens of the city, it's moving way too slow, and it still feels like whack-a-mole. I think we need to prioritize shelter at all costs, and in terms of that broadly defined, including low and high barrier shelter solutions. That needs to be a #1 priority from a funding perspective. And we need to continue to be strong advocates for both addiction services and mental illness services on the streets of Portland. Measure 110 dollars have rolled out way too slowly statewide, in particular Multnomah County. That has added fuel to the fire of our addiction crisis on our streets. And at times we've been lax on law enforcement when it comes to prosecuting those that are pushing fentanyl and meth on our streets. I think we need to shift that. At the same time, we need to make sure mental illness services are coming online throughout our state effectively. And last but not least, we need to stop attracting some of the migratory elements that have really exacerbated the unsanctioned camping in our city. It's going to be a combination of all of those to address this.
It looks like the charter amendment to change Portland's form of government will go to the voters in November. Are you in favor of the amendment as proposed?
You know, I think we need charter reform. The complexity and the all up or down on this proposal is a little bit concerning. I was hoping they were going to break it into pieces. And I'm looking forward to seeing the alternative that we think we'll hear in October. We did sit down with one of the authors of charter reform this week. They made a compelling case for a number of pieces in the proposal. Continue to listen to both sides on it. At this point, I continue to have some concerns about just the complexity and the experimental nature in some respects of combining all of these pieces. But I do appreciate the good work that many of the authors did on it, and I'm going to give it my full consideration. But at the end of the day, I'd like to see the alternative that's proposed in October before making my final decision. Right now, I'm probably leaning no on this particular proposal, but again, I'd like to compare it to to the alternative that comes up in October.
Portland City Council candidate Rene Gonzalez, thank you for joining me on Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thanks so much for having me, Ken.